WQAD's Good Morning Quad Cities continues.
Our timer now is 6:30. Welcome back here to Good Morning Quad Cities.
Thank you for joining us. Topping our news this morning, complete flood watch coverage along the Mississippi River in the Quad Cities. Right now, the river is sitting at about 18.5 feet, but it's expected to rise to more than 20 feet by this upcoming weekend.
Forecasters originally predicting a record-breaking flood this spring.
But now they say the river will probably crest at a lower level and stay flooded for a longer period of time. News 8's Ryan Jenkins is live in Davenport to explain why there's been a change in the predictions. Ryan?
Yeah, good morning. There has been a change in the forecast, but the flooding isn't going anywhere. The river's still on a rise, and the city has put up more barriers to try to hold back more water. These barriers are part of a flood plan that was actually designed more than 10 years ago after the 2008 flood. I'm told that meteorologists at the National Weather Service have informed the city that a record-breaking flood is less likely now, but the flooding that is already closing River Drive is not going anywhere, and these barriers could still remain in place until the last day of April or even into early May.
Because north of us is seeing some daytime thaw and nighttime freezing still, it's essentially slowing down how quickly it's coming, so we're hoping that that crest will stay below record now, and National Weather Service is indicating that as well.
Now, these flood barriers like these ones, they stay up when the river is above 18.5 feet, and they don't come back down until leaders are certain or confident that the river will go below 18 feet for an extended period of time. And some long-term forecasts are not showing that to happen anytime soon, Angie.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. The river would need to reach higher than 22.6 feet to break the 1993 record. The current flood plan in Davenport was designed after the 2008 flood, when the river crested at nearly 21.5 feet. That's only 1.5 feet above where the river is forecasted to be this weekend. Well, when the river rises, it also speeds up the water's current, and that's causing progress on the new I-74 bridge to slow down. A spokesperson with the Iowa Department of Transportation tells WQAD News 8 that when the river gets too fast, it makes operations less safe for workers. And with more flooding on the way, work could be slowed down even more. IDOT leaders say there's not a whole lot that can be done to prepare for flooding, but they say as long as conditions are safe for workers, they will do the best they can. Now, despite all this, they say they're still confident that one side of the new bridge will be open to traffic in the first half of next year.
Riverside businesses are also finding ways to work around the floodwaters. News
8's Madison Connor is live in Moline with how far the owners of Milltown Coffee are willing to go to keep their business up and running. Madison?
Good morning. The normal route to Milltown on River Drive is completely covered in water, shutting down the roads in multiple points. But Milltown Coffee wants people to know that whether it's by car, by foot, or even by paddle, they will get you here safely.
Can my car swim?
Flooded rivers and roadways won't stop coffee lovers from making it down to Milltown Coffee.
Yeah, so we've had to have reduced hours. We're 8 to 4 every single day now.
My options are crossing the I-74 bridge, which is brutal, or coming here, but the flooding is awful.
While most of River Drive remains closed due to water, other routes to Milltown do exist. You just have to look for them. An alley off of 34th Street avoids the flooding.
Right now, if you take 34th Street, there's barricades up that you can't get down to River Drive, but if you take a right down the back alley, it'll lead you to the back of our building and right into our parking lot.
It isn't the smoothest ride, but it gets the job done.
So you just kind of have to make your way down here. You can call and let us know, and we have maps all over the back of their kitchen so our employees can tell people how to get here.
Creating a plan to combat the rising waters hasn't been easy, and it's taking a toll on business.
So I've never seen this place as empty as it is right now. So
is that kind of weird to you?
Yeah, like it's not like the hustle and bustle that I'm used to, which is part of the reason why you come to like a coffee shop, is for like ambience vibe.
Despite the stress of a hard flood season looming, Milltown employees are still able to have some fun.
I think I'm going to rent some kayaks and we'll put them down towards the light a little bit. You can paddle on in. Thinking about giving piggyback rides too if people need it on the bike trail, so there'll be ways to get here.
Always making it work for their regulars, one espresso shot at a time.
Now, owners told me that Western Illinois, that's right next door, has been a huge help in getting people through their doors, and so have some of the businesses and apartment complexes around the area, making sure to support local through the flood. Angie?
All right, that's very important this time of year. Thank you, Madison. The owners of Milltown say they hope the adjusted business hours won't be too much of a hassle for people who come in before work for their coffee fix. The time is 6:35. Let's get an update on traffic and weather conditions now with Andrew.
Thankfully, dry conditions are persisting from the weekend's forecast that we had. I'm not seeing too much in the way of major problems in our traffic this morning. Looking live at the I-74 bridge, our sunrise getting ready to take shape. Not seeing too many issues. Traffic's moving there. Let's go to downtown Moline as well. The intersection of 19th Street and 12th Avenue. Also not seeing any significant delays. Even though some snow is being detected on radar, not any of this is, or none of it rather, is reaching the ground. It's just simply too dry here, which is some good news. We don't want to see any more of that, that's for sure. Temperatures will go from 20s and into the 40s as we get to the afternoon. Around lunchtime, well into the 40s. And from there, we'll continue rising into the 50s. It'll still be windy, so you'll have to deal with that again today. But it'll be a warming wind out of the south that will move our temperatures even higher as the week goes on. There are a couple rain chances before we jump into some warmth that could get us as high as 70 degrees. I'll time out when those will be arriving coming up in your accurate forecast.
Andrew, thank you. 2 people are seriously hurt after police say a drunk driver ran a red light in Davenport yesterday morning. Michael Coleman is facing several charges, including OWI and serious injury by vehicle. Investigators say Coleman was driving 55 in a 25-mile-an-hour zone and ran the red light at Locust and Brady Street, crashing into an SUV. One of the victims had to be airlifted to an Iowa City hospital. Right now, no word on their condition. Coleman being held at the Scott County Jail. Meanwhile, 2 people are recovering from minor injuries after a car accident in Davenport yesterday. Happened on Locust Street near the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds just before 8 last night. A woman and a child were both taken to the hospital with minor injuries. No word on the cause of the accident right now.
A man is in jail this morning after trying to burn down a duplex. Davenport police arrested 28-year-old Vincent Reed yesterday. Police say Reed broke into a home on the 600 block of West 16th Street and set fire to an upstairs unit. After leaving the scene, police say Reed went back to the home and kicked in a locked door. Reed is charged with arson and burglary.
Your Voice, Your Vote coverage this morning as Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is set to be in Davenport on Friday. He's hosting a rally at the Mississippi Hall at the River Center. The event is free to the public. Doors open at 5:30 p.m., but the event does not start until 7 that night. Also in Your Voice, Your Vote coverage, Illinois voters are getting ready to head to the polls tomorrow.
This general election covers municipal, school, and local government races, as well as some referendums. For example, in Coal Valley, there's a referendum that would increase the Fire Protection District's tax limit to fund fire and ambulance services. Meanwhile, in Milan, city leaders want to increase the municipal sales tax from 0.5% to 1% for municipal operations and infrastructure. To find your polling place and sample ballots, go to WQAD.com, type the word elections into the search box.
Our time right now is 6:38. Still to come here on Good Morning Quad Cities, a taste test.
Last week, we told you about Dunkin's Peeps-inspired drinks and donuts. Coming up, we're going to give them a try. Andrew?
Can't wait. A combination of some caffeine and sugar. Lots of it coming up. Outside this morning, a little chilly. Temperatures are down into the 20s and some 30s across the area. A nice rebound expected this afternoon. And even more warmth. Season's first 70s are finally in the forecast. When they'll be arriving, you're going to like the timing coming up next.
You're watching WQAD. This is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.